Okay, so I know I said Gate of Evil Reds would be next. I have an explanation, okay? I have an excuse for this one. Hey everybody, it's me, Pluto. Today I'm going to be commentating Integration of Fragments Reds. That's right, this is Integration of Fragments, the stage, and Integration of Fragments Append, the ROM hack. So it's a bit of a redundant name, but regardless, this is the second level that's in the Append ROM. It's a pretty interesting stage, but before we talk about it, I want to talk a bit about why I'm doing this instead of Gate of Evil. In short, I got messaged by a friend that someone was like, hey, you know, Gion's grinding Gate of Evil, you know, I think it would be nice if you just, like, did the last level of Append before doing Gate of Evil, just to, like, not blatantly, like, snipe him out of his, like, achievement of doing it first, which, like, I understand the sentiment, I wanted to respect that, so I decided to do this instead of Gate of Evil. With that being said, I'm not going to wait for Gion to get Gate of Evil Reds. If he gets it before me, he does. If he doesn't, he doesn't. I'm still going to play the game as much as I want because it's a fun game, and ever since C15 Star 1 and Dream Edition, I don't really agree with waiting for someone to do something before you, because it led to me just not doing a star I wanted to do for literal months. No hard feelings, by the way, towards Yosh, the person who was grinding C15 Star 1. He made great progress, and it's honestly super impressive. It's just like, yeah, I just didn't go for the star for a while because I was waiting for him. So that's kind of just like my policy, quote-unquote, on things. I hope you understand. I hope people won't get angry at me for that. If I get the star before Gion, I will absolutely mention him in the video and like link his Twitch and stuff. I'll like that's the least I could do, and you know, so with that little disclaimer, let's talk about the stage. So, like the stage's name implies, this is an integration of fragments, as in it is a compilation of small parts of every stage, well, almost every stage in the game. So that, like, this section I'm in right now is based on Bowser 3. Some of them are easier, some of them are harder. It's the typical TD stage, which, like, you know, is a thing. I mean, it's been a thing for a while, but TD, like, made it popular. So, each of the sections is pretty interesting. There's not really anything in the stage that I would say is, like, annoying or unfun. Some of the sections are actually really cool in how they're implemented. Some of them are just kind of very similar to the sections that they're based on. So this first star path here is the one that you need to do the most of. A lot of the star paths don't have red coins at the very ending, except for 2 of them. I'll point out the second one when it comes, but this is the one. This is the first one here, and we have some interesting cheese there where you use some interesting wall kicks to get on top of that little block, so you can skip some crossovers. The crossovers are arguably easier than that trick, not eater, but it is faster by a decent margin, and especially when you throw in that Scuttlebug arch there, it could be like minutes faster. So, worth in my opinion. This is a lengthy star. The successful attempt was about like 28 minutes or something, which is a lot considering I don't think I was playing that slow. Although towards the end it was a bit sloppy. So that pink thing, I never mentioned it, the pink thing is not quicksand, it's actually out of bounds, so you can't even stand over it. If you are over it, you will die. So you need to make sure that you just completely avoid it. By using the shell and jumping into the spring, the shell like clips inside of Mario, which gives him a big burst of speed. If you've seen the 120 star TAS, you might be familiar with this because it's used in Tiny Huge Island to get the red and 100 coin star, which is like my favorite star in the TAS. Here it's used in a more subdued way, where you just use the spring to get into a wall kick state, and then wall kick through some crossovers here. You can also dive in the state to get some extra distance, which we're going to do after this crossover here. Just like this, boom. As you can see, tons of extra speed. Drop my water bottle. So yeah. Of course, the climb keeps going. I need to hydrate. I've been talking a lot today because I did like a 20-minute commentary. I was like, okay, I need to wake up a bit more, so I did some exercise. And then I was like, okay, now let's actually commentate this. Now it's gonna be like because like I just wasn't happy with the commentary. I felt like there was just too many empty bits, and I was like, okay, yeah, I need to wake up more. So yeah, but now I've talked a lot though, so I need some water so I don't, like, lose my voice. The slope jumps are actually pretty awkward, but nothing too difficult. The best word for this section is awkward. It's nothing super difficult, like I said, but it is, you know, there's some uncomfortable bits, and you'll have to do some practice to get used to it. This is a backflip wall kick, which, you know, I know there's a lot of people who really struggle with backflip wall kicks. I feel like backflip wall kicks are kind of like quicksand ledge grabs, where it's like, if you can do them really consistently, but there's just like, it takes some experience to be able to just do it in general, because it is quite awkward. It especially depends on the camera angle. It's worth noting that this stage is covered in quite a few invisible walls, not like actual invisible walls, like intentional ones that are supposed to anti-cheese the stage. Notably, there's ones around this area, which means that you can't just like jump from a higher area down to this section. Which might actually be an interesting thing to like throw into a route, but not possible, so just need to go through the whole section back, which is a sizable chunk of the star, and definitely where most of your attempts die. So, towards the end of the grind, I made a bit of a route change here. I would normally go to Mario's right here, but instead I go over here first, and that's because to go to the right, you would need to do a very tricky triple jump dive, but by going here first, I can actually skip that dive with a good chain long jump, which, in my opinion, is worth it. Just removes a hard jump at the cost of like slightly less. Well, it's less efficient routing in terms of difficulty, but like I think it's actually faster in terms of like time. I could be totally wrong though. Pause buffer to get the good wall kick here. So something interesting about this stage is that when I was doing Everett's interpretation, you might remember that I was playing on an old version. Since then, I've gotten access to the newest version, which I'm playing on here. It is pretty interesting because the newest version in this stage actually makes some changes outside of like patching some things like the wrong star ID being assigned to a star, specifically the star on this path. It actually removes some enemies. So, for example, there used to be a Goomba on that platform that would try to kill you when you did the triple jump wall kick, but it got removed, which is very nice. I love when ROM hack devs actually like remove annoying enemies, because like annoying enemies are so frustrating, man. Pretty awkward camera there. Mostly just need to get a feel for it. Some one-way floors to climb up that thing, which is a pretty scary ground pound, but you know. Not a hard ground pound though, it's very lenient. So here's a bit of an interesting section. Checkerboard pattern on the slope here, foreshadowing. The pink bits here are slippery, so you need to be extra careful on these. Where this gets notable, however, is when we reach around here, because, well, there's no more ground to stand on, because that's quicksand. However, the pattern repeats, it's just invisible, so you just need to remember which is which. And you also need to remember that that one's slippery. So, thankfully we don't need to climb the whole slope, which is actually quite difficult, because there's one jump that's like really difficult. Man, I'm fucking redundant today. But, yeah, you just need to get up there, then you can go. This is the chain long jump I mentioned to skip the precise triple jump. The precise triple jump dive, that is. I might have called it, I don't think I did. But yeah. Just gotta do it precisely. You could also do it from the back platform there, where like the Kuromame is, but the problem is that that tends to mess up the camera, so I think it's easier to just do that. There is a slightly difficult triple jump dive, but it's pretty lenient. Remember, don't stand above the pink there, it's out of bounds. It kills you. Thankfully from this red coin we can skip a kind of awkward wall kick thing. We do have these tricky cubes here from Course 1 in this game, which, not hard, but I will say that they killed an attempt once, so that was pretty funny. Cubes, man, they're so awkward. Alright, so we're coming up on the metal cap portion, which is actually one of the hardest portions of the stage. It has two wall kick sections, which are pretty difficult. And, well, you know, we're approaching on those soon. I will say this, like, I like these, like, collages of, like, every level in the game. because they can be really interesting. It's really nice because this game has very memorable stages, in my opinion. So it's very easy to like tell what's what, and like you see it and like, hey, I remember that. The only exception is like a couple sections, like the wing cap part, which is like, oh, I guess that's technically the wing cap part. Like outside of that, it's like, this is a memorable ass ROM hack. This game is so unique. That's what I like about it. I know it's ironic to say that on the level is just a compilation of the other game's levels, but there's like pretty much every level in this game feels like very like something that's not been done before, if that makes sense. With the exception of like the compilation levels like Habanya's Final Memory and Fragments of Treasure, obviously. But you know what I mean. So this wall kick section here, pretty difficult. You need to avoid the light blue because it's lava and you're forced into low HP. So you need to just wall kick pretty precisely. Also, the camera's kind of iffy, so it's hard to get some depth perception there. One of the harder jumps in the stage for sure. Although I don't think I ever died to it in an attempt, which is kind of funny. It's worth noting that in the entire like 2-hour grind that it took to get reds here, I only got past 12 reds once before this. The first time I died to 21 out of 23, and then this attempt gets the star. So only got past the first like half twice, which is pretty funny. But to be fair, the second half is like, you know, you're focusing more, plus it's like, I think it's easier, yeah. I think there's just less hard jumps. It's like, there's some tricky stuff, but like overall it's easier. You can see that music note in the background. That is some foreshadowing. While we do some relatively easy jumps, I might as well talk about the experience of doing this stage. It's fun. I liked it. The normal stars here were really entertaining. And the red coin star, well, it's not the best designed red coin star. It's better than some other ones in this hack, and I think that it was enjoyable, even if I disagree with some things in it. I mean, I was in a voice call with Dolph, and apparently some people had some very notable moral objections to this. Why do I keep fucking saying that stages are morally objectionable? It's not even funny, but I know some people had some like issues with red coin star here, and like, yeah, it's dumb, but it's IoF, baby. Everything's stupid. There's a pretty interesting red here. If you grab that vanish cap, you'll go through this like grate here, which will cause you to hit the lava and be dead. So you need to only get the metal cap to go through the fire. Which is like I think that's supposed to be a troll, which is pretty fucking funny. Alright, so here we have some one-way wall lava bounces, which I feel like have been really popular recently. I feel like these are like, once I started seeing these, they were in every hack. Which is not at all a bad thing. These are always cool. Grabbing the vanish cap is purely just for getting another cap refill, which is necessary on this path. It also makes the other two paths like slightly less dangerous, so I will do it for the other two paths here, but for now we're just doing this. Go across this thin little lava thing and then go in the slope. Kicking up this slope is surprisingly consistent. I never got like a kick eaten once, so that's pretty good. So this star path, this one's pretty tricky. It has some difficult sections. It's got the C10, the B2, and the C14 section. The B2 section's pretty easy, but the C10 section and the C14 section are not hard, just like tricky. This is the C10 section. We have some really cool wall kicks here with the angle changes and like the changes in elevation. Just kind of going through like these tunnels here. I love wall kick sections like this. I love C10 in this game. C10 in this game is super fun. Speaking of super fun, I got the star at 2 a.m. So in short, I was like practicing with this, and then like Maria came home and she wanted to see attempts. So I was like, hey, let me do some attempts with Maria, because like I wanted to do some with her in VC. That sounded fun. So I did some for like a little under 2 hours, and then I was like, okay, I'm getting tired, I'm done. So then I'm like, okay, I've watched some videos of her, let's go to bed. And then I get DM'd by Dolph, and Dolph is like, hey, join VC, I wanna, you know, me and Rev are in it. And then like 10 minutes later I join, and Rev is gone by this point. But regardless, Me and Maria are now in VC with Dolph, and I get like I want to do something. So I'm like, okay, let's do some attempts of IoF Reds, and then in 30 minutes I get it, which is definitely an interesting way to get a star at 2 a.m. I had a lot of fun in the VC though. You can hear the raw footage, although some of the raw footage is censored due to like some of the things that we talked about being things that, you know, yeah, some people might not want to hear, so. That red coin has multiple ways to get it, by the way. There's like wall kick methods, I think intended to something crazy with the slope back there, I have no idea. It is dumb, for sure. I might throw in a clip, honestly, of a wall kick strat I found. So, right there was a little trick with some corner physics. You use corner physics to build up speed in the corner, and then you hold down to get out of the corner to do a wall kick. I've only seen that in 2 ROM hacks. It was in Chaotic Collab, and it was also in this, in Bowser 2. I feel like it's something that I feel like it's something that like Shine has done in like one of their hacks, but I could be wrong. Like it sounds like something that'd be in Maple Syrup, I don't know. This is the C14 section, by the way, that I mentioned. It's not hard, just like, yeah. Like I said, like I know I said the same thing like multiple times by now, but this is more tricky than it is hard. Thankfully, the hard part of the star is that little section off in the distance, but we don't actually need to do it for reds. There's another section coming up where, like, has a very hard star ending, but you don't need to do it during reds. Which is very nice, because I do it like 3 times when going for the star. It's the Gate of Evil section. At least I think it's Gate of Evil. It looks like Gate of Evil. So here we have this very generic slope section. That star in the distance, the blue one back there, that's the star I'm talking about, where it has a really hard star ending, but you don't need to do star ending. Also, almost die like multiple times on this slope. I'm kinda lucky I didn't. Almost had some C13 Dream Edition flashbacks where I almost died of 18 out of 18 on the last slope. Fuck, man. That would have been rough if that happened. Wouldn't be. I probably wouldn't have been mad though. I couldn't have been, man. That was my like second attempt to get past invisible wall kicks, and it was like my first attempt to get to like the 7th red out of 18. I couldn't have been mad if I fucking choked that, man. It's really nice, like, cause like RR is like a star that I choked a ton. C13 was like a star I fluked a lot, and then like C15 star 5 is in like that perfect sweet spot where like I died at the end just enough for it to be satisfying, but not enough for it to be overbearing. So like, in that respect, like C15 star 5 is like my like the grind that like I think the most fondly of, because like it was also probably the most fun out of those 3. But I also had a lot of fun with C13 reds. Man, C14 reds is gonna be interesting to see how that goes. I think I'm gonna enjoy it less than C13 reds, but not as little as RR reds. Because, like, the actual star of our reds I didn't like. I just liked streaming it. Because, you know, yeah. And then, like, VCing with Discord friends gives me, like, the same feeling as streaming. So it's, like, doing that is, like, super fun. So, right there, jumped off to hit that red. A little bit of a setup here to get a ledge grab. It's worth noting that there are some sections on stage that are like HP dependent. This is not one of them. I didn't need to save that 4 HP there. It's just nice to save because 1, it's faster, and then 2, it's... Jesus, let me save my HP. Why do I need to explain myself to you, SMH? I'm actually really surprised I got this at like 2 in the morning. Cause like normally when it's late at night I play a lot worse, but like I don't know, I just nailed it. Then again, it's like I also did like a 2-hour session. I took a break, and like usually like my first session of something is like really bad, and then like after I like sleep on it for like a day, or like for even just like a few hours, I come back like way better. So like I sometimes like doing like the initial first session just to get it out the way, so that way the muscle memory can develop. The only reason I'm coming down here, by the way, is to kill this Chuckya so he can't potentially kill me later. Also, at the beginning I mentioned that there's another star path where you pretty much need to do the entire star. And this is that one. Also, shoutouts to that massive stutter there. I think that I changed some things, and overall the recording quality looks a bit better. But there was that, or a bit less stuttery, but there was that like pretty major stutter there, but not a huge deal. I'm just gonna chalk that up to recording in 1080p while Discord streaming. So here we have a pretty scary section. That platform is fucking far apart, man. Very tricky. I don't think Vanish Cap actually goes to that girl. I never tested it, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't. If I'm wrong, I guess I'm wrong, but it's a different texture from the ones you can Vanish Cap through. Besides, not like it matters, I never died to the chain long jump, but it was difficult. There's another chain long jump towards the end that's like hard. Here I actually need to like bait out the fire, so they don't have my metal cap. Also, I just realized I'm like, I did not mention the fucking fly guy thing. These boxes have fly guys in them, which allows you to easily jump on top of the fly guy. I think I don't jump on this one initially. I think I like struggle. Oh, never mind. I get it fine. I think my 21 out of 23, I struggled to get on the fly guy. But no, there I did it very cleanly. Beautiful. So speaking of things that I feel like are in so many hacks now after I saw it for the first time, this kind of slope thing, which like it was in Sombro's realm invasion thing. It's in this game. It's in Andrew's hack. I'm pretty sure it's in like another hack as well. It's pretty cheesable here though. You don't actually have to do like the hard thing, which is good because the actual like method for that is precise as fuck. So we have some slopes here. Just ground pound to get on the top of the slope to get as much speed as possible. Here, position to the edge. And big jump for Mario. Here we have this fucking scary precise wall kick section. Difficult precise wall kicks combined with chance to get firsty equals scary. Boom. So this part right here is where my 21 and 23 died. In short, very unlucky firsties, and I also wasn't super paying attention, so yeah. Unfortunate way to lose an attempt, but what are you gonna do? So right there is the star, but instead we're gonna come back. Okay, so here's where HP actually matters. I cannot take any damage anymore. If I take even 1 point of damage, I'm fucked, because there's like no easy ways to heal, and I really need all 8 HP, because like the end of the star I'm gonna have only 1 HP towards the end, and then like the last red coin is gonna heal me a bit, but it is like precise down to the HP, so you do need to be careful here. 8 HP, don't just be careful, don't take any fall damage. And with all the star paths out of the way, now it's time for the thing that's exclusive to Reds. And here we have the ominous music note from earlier. So, this section here is a wall kick section, precise wall kicks on a music note. It's not as hard as it looks. It's pretty tough. It's mostly camera here. Like, this part is mostly camera. If you use the other camera, this is, like, ridiculously hard. But on this camera, it's a lot easier to, like, go along the bottom of the music note here. Pretty sure this is a treble clef. I got pretty close to getting too low there. It's also important I don't touch the lava there. The lava just prevents you from taking any path you want to the music note. It kind of makes you take like the longest possible path like around everything. It also makes it so you can't just like climb up the middle. But yeah, if I touch the lava, I'm fucked because like yeah, I won't have enough HP to complete the ending. And you'll see why. I have to take 3 mandatory lava bounces towards the end. You know, apocalypse style. Like it's like a reverse apocalypse. You have to have 1 HP for the ending. So, climb up to the very top. Watch out for the patches of lava here. So, at this point in the star, I feel like my game lagged, but when I look over the recording, it doesn't really look like the game's lagging at all. I think my eyes were just, like, lagging or something, or, like, my brain was just, like... I don't know, but, like, my game is not lagging at all there, but it very much felt like the game was at, like, 15 FPS. I'm like, what the fuck? It looked so choppy and weird. It had to just been my eyes deceiving me. So I mentioned some of the mandatory damage, and here we're gonna get into that. I need to take another lava bounce here, which puts me at 2 HP. I would be able to go to the end, but the problem is that I need to hit this blue switch. Now I need to backtrack to get this red coin. This is a pretty difficult triple jump, but I played E6, so this is nothing for me. I say it's nothing for me, but I do struggle on this a lot because I don't want to die, obviously, so I take precautions, but, you know. When you've done exclamation point box triple jumps, like, these aren't that bad. I still vividly remember when I fucking got E6 B1, that was, like, so cool, because it was, like, TAS only thing, and then I did it. So I guess it's not TAS only. Here's going to be a bit of a wall kick section, but it's worth mentioning that there you can't get corner physics here. So if you could get corner physics, this would be like an actual pretty big problem. Well, actually, it wouldn't be that much of a problem. You could just hold up against the wall, then like tap down. But it would be a bit trickier. But you can just hold up in the corner and you'll be fine. I think it's just because the walls are thin, so you don't need to worry about corner physics. I could be totally wrong though. And then one more mandatory lava bounce, and that leaves me with 1 HP. And here's the ending. So, you can see the TD platform. There's 2 Chuckies on it, and a Bob-Omb, and a blue switch. Okay, so this ending is a bit of an enemy hell, and pretty much the best way to get through it is you just want to find the most efficient path through the enemies. So, jump towards this, go between the Chuckies, go between them again. Long jump here. I get stuck on this wall for a bit, and that actually almost kills me because that causes the heave-ho right there to fall down too early. If that heave-ho was in a bad spot, I'd probably be dead, and I was really close to bonking there, which if I wasn't ready for it, if I hit like the part of the wall that you can't wall kick off of, like the very edge, like the death pixel thing, I would also have been dead. So I got quite lucky to get it there. But anyways, you know, I guess I'll switch back to the raw audio. I did it kind of late here, but you know, you can go in the description if you want to see the full reaction. Yeah, so sending back to the raw audio. See you guys then, and also enjoy this Bowser fight, because there is a Bowser fight. Bye! IoF Append done, by the way. Worse. Wait, there's a boss battle? What the fuck are you talking about, man? I gotta fight Bowser?
This is vanilla.
Wait, what's the text box?
He said this isn't...
What did he say?
It's something like, this
Yeah.
isn't the last time we'll meet. Or like, this is the last time we'll play together.
That was like such an unceremonious way of dealing with Bowser. He just like started saying things in the middle of like after like hours of grinding.
That was a clean as shit Bowser.
My
Yeah,
god.
that was like a speedrunner Bowser, like actually.
Like, that was like a 16-star world record Bowser.
I fucking hate 1-2 spin throws. That shit's horrible. Oh, Ouija! That was a Ouija Bowser.
That was the Ouija.
Ouija Bowser. Let's go.
Good job, Mabel. That was cool.
No.
Incredible that he got this late.
Alright. Alright, time to bleep out the part where we mentioned
gosh.
Oh god, that wasn't the attempt. Sorry.
That was indeed the attempt.
Wait, do you keep the call-in?
Means you post the raw footage alongside like the.
Yeah. I might censor this one because it's the first ever and the raw footage is kind of important. But I'll do that tomorrow.
Yeah, there's gonna be some bleeping going on.